Today we are launching the second edition of Derik Cultural Festival. We had the first one last year, which was, we did it in rush time, but we managed to do it in memory of the late Derik Alfred. And this year, 2022, we came up with we put a lot of effort to make this, the second edition, as bigger, maintaining the name of the late Derik Alfred. It's well organized. We have a lot of activities that will take place. It's a 1 week, a busy week that will be starting on the 10th of this month to the 18th of this month at the University of Juba. So this morning, we'll tell you and detailings what is in our agenda of the whole week, what is going to be happening. We're going to be having music, drama, a lot of activities, panel discussions, but we are taking different issues related to the building, nation building in different part of the life, especially using the cultural activities as the tools of bringing South Sudanese together, and we can do better and build a better South Sudan. We agreed as the member of the cultural festival to maintain annually Derik Cultural Festival, whereby we choose individual to lead the initiative for years to come. We hope that we will be maintaining this. So this year, 2022, the second edition of Derik Cultural Festival is led by Stars Team Simon, who is the president of the Derik Cultural Festival. The team will detail what we have for the next week when we are going to start the activities at the University of Juba.
Today we are launching officially the second edition of Derik Cultural Festival for the year 2022, and I'm going to read out the press statement, the main statement for this year's edition in behalf of the organizing committee and on behalf of the institutions and sponsors and the friends and colleagues of late Derik Alfred. Derik Cultural Festival, second edition 2022. Culture and art are keys to discovering ourselves. This is a saying by late Ustaz Derik Alfred. Derik Cultural Festival is an annual event in memory of late Derik Alfred, who passed on after a long journey of selfless efforts in various fields of culture and drama in the Sudan and in South Sudan. The late was undoubtedly among the giants who left undeletable touch in our country, leaving a glorious legacy that should be upheld by all to achieve the goals he spent his life for. That is, promoting culture as an essential factor and a prerequisite for nation building and support for unity and reconciliation. All this led to realizing the national program of a state that is proud of her history and celebrates shared cultural heritage and wealth of knowledge. The festival is a brainchild of Derik's disciples, colleagues, and friends who are active in the field of culture and have a great respect for the late. They shared with him an ambitious project that is based on a strong belief in the importance of culture and creativity in forming collective consciousness and construction of national identity. The festival is a true embodiment of the commitment to keep the fire of the project burning, thus organizing an annual festival in the memory of late Derik Alfred and building on his vision ideas and continuing his project is the best gratitude and continuation of his noble action. The second edition of Derick Festival this year is under the theme Culture as a Pathway for Nation Building. This is in line with the ideas Derick always believed in, making effort so that cultural action became institutionalized, giving practical answers to the questions of identity and diversity, and to deploy the cultural richness of the country in the process of development, opening channels between all these elements and consolidating cultural dialogue as the central to the construction of the national memory. The festival will therefore include a variety of drama, music, and fine arts, in addition to a gallery and a book fair, beside the core activities that will include papers on the legacy of Derik Alfred and his unique contribution to the cultural movement in the two parts of Sudan. In fulfillment of the recommendation of the first edition of 2021, and in recognition of figures and personalities that contributed to the setting of the foundation for the culture and arts movement in the country, and in acknowledgement of their efforts and legacy, Ustaz Saman Ilwal Arumaj has been chosen as the personality of the festival. He was one of the pioneers in the theater and cultural activities in Sudan and South Sudan in particular. He will also be honored for his endless efforts. For his tremendous contributions, Saman Ilwal is considered one of the national thinkers who has a crucial impact in laying the foundation for the theater movement in South Sudan and refocusing culture from being just a normal activity to become a throbbing heart for resistance. Most important, making the theater a unifying factor of the various cultural groups, not only in South Sudan, but also in the peripheries of the Sudan through his involvement in theater and critical writings to reflect neglected dimensions of heritage. This restored the dignity of those cultural groups as they celebrated through dance, singing, and material and immaterial culture. Because of that, he faced disturbances from the authorities, and he was frequently detained for his cultural activities and for using cultural expression to create national concession. He launched idea of pastoral theater, Saman Ilwal, and Kwatu Group, which became a cultural center with late Derik Alfred and Ustaz Stephen, who is sitting next to me here, Stephen Afero Shala. The small folks show and dance group achieved a huge recognition and unprecedented success in arts and theater arenas in Sudan and in South Sudan, if not in the whole region. With the festival entering its second edition, continuing giving momentum to the cultural sense, it thanks the entities who contributed, whose contribution was essential to the success of the first edition. Research Cultural Center, Hope Society, South Sudan Broadcasting Corporation, School of Music, Arts and Drama at University of Juba, Al-Mawqif Newspaper, South One TV, Talented Media, NDN, Jubak for advertisement, beside the members of the late family and his friends. The festival organizing committee would like to take this opportunity to point out that this year edition has been sponsored by several national and public institutions of mutual interest, The committee is grateful to the University of Juba for hosting the event and thanks to Rafigi Printing and Publishing House for financing a big portion of the festival, national companies for supporting in different ways, Blessing Mills, Rice Group Company, Matthew and Son Company, Talent Media, NDN, Non-Events, Zag Printing and Design, Shiloh Anna Company, Urubab Cultural Foundation, South Sudan Broadcasting Corporation, Radio Maraya, Al-Mawqif Newspaper, Center for Development and Research, South Sudan Center for Strategies and Policy Studies, and members of Koto Cultural Center, not forgetting the active contribution of some ministers and officials in the national government. All these sponsorships confirm Derick believes that networking with various civil, private, and public entities is a safeguard for the continuation of cultural programs and institutions of creativity in our country. In acknowledging the importance of continuity and motivating those involved in culture, the festival second edition is preparing to launch a prize in the name of the late in the fields of theater, fine arts, creative writing, and filmmaking. A special committee will be formed to set the criteria for competition to the criteria for annual participation in collaboration with the relevant institution. The aspiration is to take this competition to the regional and international levels. Finally, the organizing committee for Derick Cultural Festival call on public to participate in the activities and functions of the festival, which will take place at the main campus of the University of Juba at La Barra from 10th to 18th this month of November 2022. The public can also follow through our social media outlets, and thank you.